Hello everyone, in today's episode we are going to share with you some tips about when to study. Okay, the first tip is about first day of class. The first day of class is when students should start their studies. Successful students make it a habit to read over their notes and think back on the material covered in the previous classes as the way to get their minds in the right frame of mind of learning. You should go through your notes as soon as possible after each lecture to better retain the information, or at the very least within the next 24 hours. You will be able to retrieve the information from your long-term memory if you repeatedly engage with the material. When it comes to building an understanding of material, studying for 1 hour immediately after the lesson will be more beneficial than studying for several hours a few days later. According to a number of studies, if the information that was gained in the class is not reviewed within the first 24 hours, as much as 80% of it would be forgotten. The second tip is about weekly reviews. Review the notes you have taken for the past week at the end of the week. This helps you to remember the subject better and jogs your memory, so take use of it. Memory relies heavily on repetition in order to function properly. The neural pathways in your brain that are responsible for leading you to the material get increasingly robust the more times you look at the stuff. This makes it much simpler to remember. The third tip is about pre-exam reviews. These evaluations can last anywhere from 3 to 5 hours. Your time spent studying should be broken up into 1-hour chunks that are interspersed within 10-minute breaks. During your break, stand up and move around, stretch, get drink, and get up and just move. Your time spent studying will be more productive if you keep yourself moving throughout it. A fatigued mind can only result from a tired body. And the last tip is about peak study times. You should do your studying at times when you are at your most awake and attentive, as well as when you are most able to take in new information. If you are someone who is most productive first thing in the morning, then the morning is perfect time for you to study. If you are more productive in the evening, then study in the evening. If you are unable to find time to study during your most productive period, you should attempt to study at times when you are feeling relatively awake and aware instead.